Hello and welcome back to the channel where we have yet another special live DVD and Blu-ray hunting where I am going once again back up to Dublin. So yes, last November I went up to Dublin. I visited three charity shops, none of which were on camera, and three CEX shops which were also on camera, as well as a Forbidden Planet shop, the only Forbidden Planet that we actually have over here in Ireland. Anywhoosies, yeah, so finally it's time for me to go back up. It's only been 4 months, give or take. And the main reason being is, once again, I'm finding it very difficult to find things where I live because I live in such a small town of roughly 40,000 people with a small handful of charity shops, as well as one CEX shop. Uh, I picked through everything. It's taken me a year and a half, roughly, of collecting to pick through everything. There has been times, where I've gone down, uh, and I've come back empty-handed. So I decided, with the bonus that I was getting in, I was like, you know what? I'll take the trip up to Dublin. I'll take a trip up to Dublin. Visit these other, the same places again, essentially. Maybe one or two others, and we'll see how that goes. So I have probably about a half hour to 30 or 35 minutes until my bus. I still need to finish getting dressed, and yeah, come along and see what I can get up to today. Let's see. Okay, so I have about 12-11 minutes to wait until my bus into town, and then, I might hit up Nav and CEX before I go to Dublin. See when I get there. It's not the best looking day, which is what I expect for it, but it'll do, so long as it's not too bad when I get up to Dublin. But we shall see. We shall see. Okay, so at the first CEX shop, and I'm looking at the Xbox One games specifically just to see um, if they have Gears of War 5, as that's the only Gears of War game that I don't own in my collection. And sadly, they didn't. Um, Unfortunately, there was an other CEX shop that did have it, but I actually passed up on it. I'll get it eventually. Um, but yeah, so just having a quick scan over these Xbox One games. There is this steelbook for Hitman, but it's pretty dinged up. So I put it back. Now, this is actually the CEX shop that got broken into a couple of weeks ago. Yes. I don't know the full story, but apparently the guys who broke in took a PC monitor and gave it to a homeless man. I don't know either, but anyway, yeah. So just having a look, see at these Xbox 360 games. There was two, I believe, that I was thinking of getting. This being the first one, Family Guy Back to the Multiverse. It was 20, but it was missing manual, and I just didn't feel like spending the €20 on it if it did not come with a manual. So I am continuing on looking at the games here to, because you never know. Like I said, I do collect Xbox 360 games, but specific ones that I know that I actually want in my collection. And the next one that I do look at is Singularity, which is a massively underrated game. I would have picked it up for a tenner if it was complete. And this isn't the first one that I come across today. I came across another one in a different CEX shop, and it was also missing the manual. So I unfortunately had to leave it behind. I would have loved to have added it into the collection. Now, this place also has a better selection of original Xbox games compared to my local CEX. But I didn't end up picking up anything here. So now we're finally looking at Blu-rays. And one of the things that I noticed with this CEX shop and a few others is that they have more 4Ks. My local CEX might have one or two. So I'm really glad that I don't collect 4Ks, because otherwise it'd be a very, very small collection. I did pause there, but that is the other thing that I pick up. Now I'm in a charity shop. I did pick up two things, and that's them. HD DVDs. I have no way of watching it, but I don't mind because I like it. The reason why the last clip cut off premature was because someone was standing right beside me, but we're now in the second CEX shop, and I again get a few things here. So in the first CEX shop, I spent about close to €50. In this one, I paid about close to 40. And it had a nice selection, bigger selection than my local has, that's for sure. Because I'm really getting sick and tired of looking at the same thing every week. That's a nice slipcover. Shame I already have it. I also do check out the Star Trek Discovery Season 4 Blu-ray, but I immediately put it back because of its price. €40 for the Season 4 Blu-ray. But I also see this, which is Deadpool 2 Steelbook. Now, it's the actual 4K Steelbook. It's in beautiful condition. It looks really beautiful. It's this first one that I seen of the day. There was another one that I seen that actually still had the J card. But it was, beautiful steelbook. If I collected, 4Ks, I might have picked it up, but I did not. So, still looking here, pulling out stuff, seeing what they have. And if that Catch Me If You Can was a little cheaper, I probably would have picked it up. But I left it there. It was actually one that I seen only recently for the very first time, and I really enjoyed it. I won't be doing a review for it though. That's gonna be one of the few movies that I don't do a review for. But yeah, still looking away here, seeing what they have. They have this Indiana Jones 4K set for €90. €90 for 4 films on 4K. That's robbery. That's just an empty sleeve that was there. They did have Jaws on 4K for 12, and after I put it back, it actually slipped down, and I never mentioned it, as I forgot. So that's my B. But yeah, I mainly just the Blu-rays that I filmed here. The Karate Kid, that's one that I want. And that's one that is coming home with me. I was tempted with Lucy, as a Blu-ray upgrade, but I just, left it. That's the one thing with this one is it had a lot of steelbooks, and they're in pretty good condition for the CEX shop. Because steelbooks I don't really run into that often. But it was nice to see him. There's this Pokemon Blu-ray. I already have that movie on DVD. I paid like €1 for it, and I wasn't paying 12 for a Blu-ray upgrade just yet. There is the Star Trek 2 The Wrath of Khan Director's Cut there. That's gone up in price. But we're now in Forbidden Planet, and there's not much footage because I only got one thing, and I was almost tempted to leave with nothing.
because I had a look at everything and there just wasn't anything there for me that I would have wanted. You just see me looking at some Marvel and Star Wars. Here's some statues that they have. You know, a Skrull, Lady Thor, a nice Darth Vader Black Series lightsaber or Force Effects lightsaber, whichever way you want to, say it. Um, some nice statues like that. Anakin from Clone Wars, Thanos for €350 for that statue, and then a nice Batman one. And now I'm looking in the glass case to see, just to see what's been updated since the last time I was up in November. And yeah, there's some nice detailing on the figures here. I tried my best to show it off, but I don't think I did. And yeah, not really much. I tried focusing on this Freddy Krueger figure because it looks really, really cool, but it did not work. I tried, and then there's another Freddy right there, and then looking at some anime figures, and then I notice these three Power Ranger figures or statues, and they look really, really cool. And I don't want to know what price they are because I know I cannot afford it. Now, I did see these Star Trek figures, but I didn't pick them up because I don't think they have articulation, and the face sculpting on Uhura, Kirk, and Spock just did not look right to me. So I just left them, after, I dropped one of them just to see what was behind Uhura, just, in case there was other figures. But yeah, I left them. I definitely, looking at it now, they're definitely for display purposes and not actual figures. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up.
Okay, so finally, I'm back home. I left this house at 20 past 9. It is now 5 p.m. But the plus side, I got a big stack. Now, I'm not sure what I've said in the voiceover because I haven't recorded that yet. So if I repeat myself, I apologize. So yeah, there was two CEX shops that I did not film in. That was Georgia Street because it didn't look that nice, and there's a few people in there anyway, and they've closed off the downstairs. I asked why, and the response I was got was because it's not wheelchair accessible, which makes sense, I guess. But because of that, because they closed down the downstairs, it meant everything was all over the place. Now I'm not sure how much of a recent thing that is, uh, but it sucks because that one was the favorite one that I went to the last time. Um, and then as well, I went to my local CEX, which had absolutely nothing, but I got one game. And then of course I went to, which wasn't on camera, 4 charity shops. I got finds in one of them. So I have this stack in order of when I got it. So let's get started. So the first place that I went to was at Liffey Street CEX. Because it was the quickest one to get to once I got off at O'Connell Street, and two, because two of the people who used to work in my local CEX shop work up there, and luckily one of them was actually on that today, so I got to catch up with him since his move up to that CEX shop, and I spent about €46 in there. It was going to be 56, but they couldn't find the discs for season 1 of Star Trek Lower Decks. But they did have series 2, which I hope you can see because I'm recording off of the back camera. But yeah, series 2 of Lower Decks in this nice little slip cover. €12 for the standard DVD. Whoops. I mean, I don't mind. It's just something that new Trek into the collection, because the only new Trek that I have in my collection is Series 1 of Discovery. So I at least wanted this. I've seen, whilst I was out, I did see Series 3 on DVD. That was expensive. I think DVD and CEX around me wanted 36, 32 actually, sorry. Yeah, €32 for a season on DVD. And then I also seen like Series 4 of Star Trek Discovery for like 40 on Blu-ray. And then like Series 3 was in around the same price as Lower Deck Season 3. So, yeah. Didn't pick up any of those. I'll wait for them to become cheaper. They will eventually become cheaper. But anyway, that's not all that I got there. As I said, I spent quite a bit. Now we are on to Blu-rays, which is mainly upgrades. And one rebuy. That one's finicky. But we'll start off with Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I did not pay 12. I paid 8 for this. They obviously hadn't, fixed the price. Now, I love this movie. It is in my top 10 favorite movies for right now. Go check out that video I done a top 20, and this is on there. I genuinely love this movie, and I'm happy to have it on Blu-ray, because I wasn't sure if it actually came out on Blu-ray, but it did. Up next is Aliens, which I did have the quadrology box set, but to find out why I got rid of it and now only have Aliens in my collection, you're gonna have to wait to see what my reviews for those. Moving on, one that I missed the last time I went up, and it was only when I was rewatching the footage after the fact, because I was focusing on recording, not looking. I missed it the first time, but I got it this time, and that is The Karate Kid on Blu-ray. Is an upgrade, which is one I'm very happy to have on Blu-ray as an upgrade. And what I love about it is not only does it have, disc art, but if I take out said disc, we have a scene from the end of the movie. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So then the next and last Blu-ray that I got was another Blu-ray upgrade for The Guard, which is a fantastic Irish film. I watched it for the first time last year, and for a $5, I'll pick it up for the upgrade. Then the last thing that I got is a DVD that I never had, and I'm like, I've heard of it. It's probably up my alley, so I'll give it a shot, and that is Revenge of the Nerds. I don't know anything about it whatsoever, but for $2.50, I'll pick it up. So, after I left Liffey Street, and when I was on my way to the next CEX shop, West Morgan Street, I believe it was, I remembered that there was a charter shop near there. And I went in. I did not think that they'd actually have anything. I was wrong. There was footage of that. I completely forgot. Sorry, I'm just parched. So yeah. I never see these out in the wild. I know I have no way of watching them. I don't care. I want it for the novelty. And that is HD DVDs of The Bourne Ultimate and The Bourne Supreme. So I paid €4 for these, and I'm very happy because I've only seen these out in the wild once for HD DVD, and I haven't seen it since, and it's been years. And just to randomly stumble across it, yes, I will of course add them into my collection. I don't care if I don't have a way to watch it or I'm not interested in the Bourne universe. I don't care. It's the novelty that I was after. So, after picking up those, I went obviously into another CEX shop where I came out with spending 30 something or another. And what I got there was TV shows to add to the collection, and we have the complete Series 7 of Star Trek The Next Generation on slimline cases. Now, they did also have Star Trek Deep Space Nine Series 3 on the slimline cases that I was going to pick up originally, but he couldn't find the discs. That's a typical thing I've noticed in these two Dublin trips. The 10 Dublin stores just do not keep good track of their inventory. So instead of getting Series 3 of Deep Space Nine, I ended up picking up The Orville Season 1. Yes, I know it's on Disney Plus. I don't care. I want this in my collection. I wanted it, and I got it. So, yeah. I'm happy to own it in my collection. So, the last two things that I got in this CEX shop was Futurama Season 4. Because as soon as I saw this box, I was like, yeah, I'm coming home with that. And like with the Season 1, all the cases make their own art. I'm not going to take the time to actually stop this recording and go show you the art. If you have them, you know it. If not, look it up. I'm showing it off. And then the last thing that I got is another of the Ben 10 series that I need in my collection. And that is Ultimate Alien Volume 2. Because I only have Ultimate Alien Volume 3. I have a few of Alien Force and almost the complete original Ben 10. And I could have picked up one that I needed for the original Ben 10. The case wasn't in the most desirable condition and I wasn't paying for it. So, after I left the second CEX shop, I went into Forbidden Planet. And I only got one thing because it was sorely disappointing. And I almost walked out with nothing, but I saw this and I was like, it's €7. It'd be a nice display piece. And that is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Blue Eyes White Dragon figure, which comes with its card there. There are a few to collect. There's single pack figures, which is Karibo, Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, White Dragon, Red Eyes, Black Dragon, which they did have, Relinquished, and Time Wizard. Then there was double packs, which I did not know, of Exodia the Forbidden One, Castle of Illusion, another Red Eyes, Black Dragon, and Harpy Lady, and then another Blue Eyes, White Dragon, and Gate Guardian. So, yeah, this is just going to be something that I display in my collection in the background. So, I went to the third CEX shop after, going into some charity shops. One did have stuff, but it was overpriced and it's Oxfam, and I just left. Like the last time, and I didn't get any footage. So this was the one that, as I mentioned, used to have the downstairs. Now that's gone. And I was going to pick up two things, which is weird because just hours beforehand, I went onto the CEX app and I looked at what they had on Georgia Street, and I, added it into my basket. I was like, okay, so I'd probably end up spending about €43 there. I didn't. I spent 12 because the other Blu-ray that I had picked up, which was Captain America: The First Avenger, was gone. And so what I did pick up was a classic Doctor Who episode that I have not seen, and it's a Tom Baker episode. It is Talons of Wen Chiang. It is the 2-disc version, which they thankfully had, because they had two copies. So there's disc 1 and there's disc 2. So this story aired between the 26th of February and the 2nd of April 1977. So very early on in Tom's towards the end of Tom's reign. Then in my local CEX, I just picked up a video game, and that was Call of Duty 4. It was complete. It was 8. I said, fuck it. Why not? And that's going to wrap things up because I don't know how long I've spent, you know, showing you everything that I've got. That I'm going to be showing you everything again in on Friday for the pickups video. So I'm going to go set that up. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This might be the last one that I do for quite a while. I'm not 100% sure. We will see. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you all next time on Friday for my pickups video.